today.
Okay.
And thank you for being with us today. We
Oh,
really
sure.
appreciate you taking the time to join our all hand. Before we
Great.
dive in, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm sorry.
Uh, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Thank you. But no, I'm doing okay.
Uh, Glad to hear that. Can you go to the next slide?
I advance the slide or you advance the slide?
No, it's
Oh,
Reza.
someone else is advancing the slide. Okay.
Okay. Let's take a look at Mr. George's journey.
Yeah.
So Mr. George has been president of Integrated Motion since 1986, and he also a lecturer at UC Berkeley since 2005 and San Francisco State University since 2008. And he's additionally supported apply research at UC Berkeley as a consultant through the Human Engineering Lab and the Center for the Built Environment. So very inspiring journey. Uh, Reza, next slide, please. Okay, I'm going to start question to Mr. George. Looking back from when you become president of Integrated Motion in 1986 to today, what were the three major phases of your journey and what triggered its transition?
Okay. That's it's a okay. It's an interesting question. Um, let's see. What were the three major phases of your journey, and what triggered each transition? Well, I think more importantly is not necessarily the whole aspect of the president of integrated motions. If you look at the line, in reality, integrated motions uh, started it started really as a joke. It wasn't something that was serious. Uh, Me and three of my friends, we were all students back then. We were PhD students, and we had nothing else better to do. So we decided, as if study and schoolwork wasn't keeping us busy enough, we decided, oh, let's start a company. Because so so that one, I guess, major. So the first phase of the journey was really starting college in itself, and that I mean, looking back at it, yeah. So that would be the first phase, was basically being in college. Then the interesting thing about that phase was I never really wanted to leave that phase. I enjoyed being a student. While I was a student, um, I did intern, right? I got jobs in the summer. I got some engineering jobs uh, in the industry, and believe it or not, I didn't really like it. So the first phase that then made the transition was to go into graduate school. After I was about to finish my bachelor's degree, I certain things did happen in the industry. I was a nuclear engineer at the beginning, and I was interning at one of the biggest nuclear companies here in the Bay Area, and they were in charge of building all the nuclear reactors. If you're talking about phases and what triggered each transition, well, that transition one, I was an undergraduate, and I was given assignments that I didn't really like. I could do it. It was challenging, but all I was doing was checking other people's work. I wasn't given the opportunity to do my own work and do my own design and things like that at that point. So then I took a look. I took a look, and I saw that all the ones that was doing the design either had a master's degree or a PhD. So at that point, I decided, okay, I'm not gonna do my whole career checking other people's work. So I'm gonna go to graduate school. So that made me decide to go to graduate school. So that was one of the things that made that decision to enter the next phase, which was to go to graduate school. And I didn't really like the corporate structure either when I was there. So I figured I'd just stay in school as long as my parents weren't upset and they didn't care about me going to school. So I decided to stay in school. And I stayed in school for a very long time, as long as I can. So then when I was, after the master's and when I was in the PhD program, I was still in school. And believe me, each year in the summer, I was getting, I was working, I was getting work. Then at some point I was working at, and then the research. So then the phase when I was a graduate student, still a graduate student, and then like I said, with our friends, which is then where the integrated motions came in, with our friends, we were doing research, and in order to do our research, we had to build hardware. We were all mechanical engineers, but we had to build electronics. So for some reason, I was fortunate enough that even as a kid, my neighbor, for some reason, or my parents' neighbor, I was living at my parents' house, but my parents' neighbor see that I was building things in the garage. I was always tinkering and building all my life pretty much, ever since 6 years old, even I was 6 years old. And the interesting thing is I really remembered my 6 years old is because the first thing I tried to build at 6 years old without knowing, my father brought me to a toy store and say, pick anything you want. So then I picked this one box that had a picture of a robot on it, right? And I sort of remembered because it was a robot, and then it wasn't actually a toy, a complete toy. It was a model, and I had to build it. And at 6 years old, I wasn't able to build it. I wasn't able to build a robot. I was very, very frustrated, and it remembered. It stayed with me until in college, by chance, I ended up designing and building robots. Now my robots work, okay? But back then, my robot did not work. So for some reason, it stuck in my mind and kept at it. So when we were in graduate school, we're all mechanical engineers, except two of us was very good with software and electronics, which is not typical for mechanical engineers. So then we decided we had to build our own hardware to do our research. We did. Then, the thing that triggered that next transition was that, yeah, it is. I was just sitting there, and I go, I can't be the only PhD student in the United States that has to build the electronic hardware to do the research, right? And then especially for mechanical engineers. We're not electrical engineers, right? We're mechanical engineers. But then we had the knack of doing it. So then I got my friends together and say, hey, why don't actually, where the friends came in was, I was a teaching assistant. So I was teaching assistant, and then there were these three students that couldn't think of an idea at all. And they were beginning to struggle in the class. They couldn't think. So then I'm like, I should take this opportunity. There's an opportunity of getting three students and free labor. As long as the government doesn't find out, I'm okay. But I figure, hey, why not, right? So then I asked them, and then I basically, hey, how would you guys like to start a company? And I'm serious. This is not just for the class. It's serious, and we're going to start a company if we're going to do this. If you then I'll give you the idea what to do. So I gave them the idea, and then we built a prototype and everything else, and then so then in the summer, okay, this is a good story. It's a long one for this question, but it is what triggers the phase. It's really important. So we're sitting there And we decided it was the summer. It was already summer, so school's over. The students have passed the class because the prototype was built, and the prototype is just sitting there. And then, okay. Yeah, we talked about starting a business, but we're just engineering students. We don't know how to start a business. Then all of a sudden, it was the start of the summer, and my dad, who works in the consulate, there was an Indonesian business person that was visiting. And then my father had me meet with him. I still remember we had breakfast in San Francisco at his hotel, very fancy hotel. He paid for breakfast. It was great. I was just a starving student. And then he goes, and then I'm presenting. I'm already ready. I had all these stories and present about what the business was going to be, what this product is all about. It's going to be the future of robotics and everything and things like this. And then he goes, I don't care what you're making. All I care is that you're Indonesian and I'll invest. And then I'm like, wow, are you serious? Wow. Okay. So immediately it's summer. So all my friends are gone, right? So then I called them up. I go, oh my God, we have an investor. We need to figure out how much money we need. Okay. So, all right. So then we sat down. We had to make a transition from being engineering students to businessmen. So I still remember that. The only thing I regret, was to keep that first paper, which was the list of equipment that we needed and what the money was. So keep in mind, there was 4 of us all together, right? 3 and myself. There's 4 of us, and we all sat down. They all came back. We're all in our lab now, and we're drafting this up because we want to send it to the investor and says this is the money we need. And this is just to give you a little bit of the inspiration of what really serious, deep thinking go into to start a company. So here's the 4 of us. We're students. So immediately we go, oh, what do we need? First, that's why I wish we kept the paper. First 4 items on the list. Now, trust me, we never gave this list to the investor. So the first 4 items on the list is basically, okay, each one of us need a car. So we put down a Ford Thunderbird, each one of us, right? Ford Thunderbird, that was the sports car of the time, okay? Was the Ford Thunderbird. We put down the list of Ford Thunderbird. Then we go, okay, what equipment we need, boom, 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 boom. And we came up and we said, okay, we'll have money to, let's say, operate for 1 year. Let's do that. And keep in mind, we're engineering students. So then we came up with the list, and what we came up was $800,000. That's a lot of money, right? To basically make a robotics company. Well, back then, or for 4 students, $800,000. But then I was thinking, wait, $800,000? Okay, why don't we? These are decisions that we were making. So $800,000. Then it go, $800,000. But he's a serious businessman. He's an investor. He's gonna know $800,000. Okay. All right, let's round it up to $1 million. Just in case we make some calculation errors. We'll ask for $1 million. Then I came around and I go, oh, come on. He's a serious businessman. He knows that this number is fake if we say we want $1 million. So let's make it 1.2 million. So we asked him for 1.2 million. We asked him for 1.2 million, and then he comes back and he goes, I'll invest $120,000. And then we're like, oh wow, $120,000. That's one tenth of what we were asking for. So then we're like, oh, okay, well, that's probably what happens. That's what happens in business, not in engineering, but in business. You have to sort of negotiate. So we went 1.2 million. He comes back with 120,000, and then we have to do in between. So of course, we then look at our list. He goes, okay, can we survive with $120,000? To 4 students, $120,000 back then was still a lot of money in the US. So then we're like, oh, okay, I guess the car's out. So yeah, first four items on the list was crossed out. No car for each of us. Let's see what we really need. Then it came down, well, in reality, what we really need is really, yeah, I think we can really get away with $20,000. We went from 1.2 million to now, you know what? We can probably get started with $20,000. Then we go, but he's going to give us $120,000, but he doesn't say how much of the company he wants. How much does he want to own? And we're like, ooh. And then I sit there and I go, you know what? I wanted to start a company because I didn't want to work for anybody. So let's see. It looks like we can really do this with $20,000 if we really, right? If we really, try 20,000. We'll be really tight with student, but then we don't want to give up any of our company for $20,000, right? So we decided. Then we look and we decided. Now it's end of the summer. Semester's about to start. As a student, each semester at Berkeley, as a student, you can actually apply. You can apply for a loan for $5,000 to buy school books. To buy school books, not to start a company. Now, interestingly enough, all four of us are students. Oh, what do you know? How lucky. All four of us, each one of us can apply for the $5,000 note, and we got our $20,000. So that's what we did. We politely refused, his investment. He said, thank you for the opportunity, but we're going to try to strike this on our own. So we all went out, we got a student loan, crossed our fingers that the school doesn't audit what textbooks we bought, because we didn't buy any textbooks. We took $20,000 to buy the first set of parts that we needed to run a prototype of 10 parts, right? Then we needed to test. When we build these things, we needed to test. So it turns out we were at a period where everybody, all the other professors, we were still students, but the professors wanted to start companies and everything else. And we were a board. So we went to the department. We went to our professor, our advisors, all four of us with the same PhD advisors. And we asked him if he wants to be the chairman of the board, right? Just out of respect, okay? And he's well known for the area, chairman of the board. Because he was actually, it was funny because he came to me and he said, every professor is starting a company. I really would like to start a company. And then I quietly closed the door and say, guess what? That last week we started a company. Would you want to be the chairman of the board? So he became chairman of the board. Then once he was the chairman of the board, we went to the department. We needed instruments. Remember, we asked, right? We asked for 1.2 million or $800,000. Part of it is to buy instruments. But our lab, just like you see my lab right now, my lab had all the instruments that at one point we wanted to buy, okay? But the school had it. So we asked the school, can we use it to start a company? And they said, you can use it as long as there's no class using the instruments. And if you break any instruments, you have to replace it. So there we go. In the afternoon, we were students. And then at night, pretty much from 6 to 2 in the morning, there's no class that uses the lab. We're in the lab building the prototype and so forth. And then, it worked. With the 10 prototypes, we were able to sell it all very quickly and then have more money to make 100 prototypes. And then the rest was So those were really I would say, what were the points and the phases of the journey. And a lot of it wasn't, it was off the cuffs and we got lucky, that's all. And then, as you can see, I never really left school. I'm still here teaching at the same school that I went. So anyway.
Okay, thank you for sharing the story. Very inspiring. For me, very inspiring because I also engineer.
Yeah, okay.
Take a lot of good lesson from you. And I'm sure the engineers in Bukit Vista are also have the same feeling like me. Actually, we have 3 questions, but I think Mr. George has already answered them all. So it's okay.
Okay.
So we can jump to Q&A for the audience.
Yeah, okay.
Uh, guys, if you have question to Mr. George, please raise your hand.
Oh man, it's just like my classroom. As soon as I say, "Are there any questions?" Completely quiet. It's universal. Ask me any question. Like, is gray my real color? No, I don't color my hair. My color. It wasn't gray at one point. It was all black.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
ask Bayu.
Hi, Pak George Anwar. My name
Yeah.
is Bayu. I'm Chief Strategy here in Bukit Vista. This is a very interesting talk. It actually remind me of my classes back in college. The way you told the stories. My question is, I guess there are some different type of people, especially in the real world of industry nowadays. That is kind of me including, right? So we are torn between becoming an entrepreneur or professional and going back to school, study, research, and all other things. I guess you are you have experienced a little bit of the industry, trying to become an entrepreneur, but in the end, you choose to be academic. So I think, is there, okay, what is your biggest, I guess, lesson or from your experience after doing this basically your entire life, right? Becoming a professional, I guess, researcher or professional academic, I guess, compared to, or if is there any regret at all that you are not going into the practical industry? Maybe your experience.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Interesting. Very good question. Very good question. Oh, regret? Absolutely not. Okay. That's because all my friends that have gone to the industry, they have regrets. So I was like, okay. Okay, at least in the US, right? In the US, and then especially in engineering, it is a dilemma for most of my students. The ones that go into industry, the problem is in the industry part of engineering, the upward mobility in a corporate structure is through management. So all my friends that started out engineering, they're now managers. Okay, it's just the way it works, right? Unless, of course, even if you do your own startup. Okay, so why I went back to teaching, right, is because the startup, was starting to becoming not a startup anymore. Okay, when we're starting to manufacture things, and yeah, the first 10 was fine, then the next 100 was sort of okay. Then after, it's sort of like boring. You're just making these things. At least for me, it was, right? But that's what companies do, right? They make these products and so forth. And then, especially if you're being a CEO or whatever, you end up in the end being a manager. You're not going to be an engineer anymore. So I didn't like that. So I'm still consulting. So the company still runs, but it runs as a consulting, and I just have consulting projects, which still sticks me with engineering. But being a professor and a teacher, which is again not by choice and not by design, it wasn't planned. Another professor of mine called me and says, "Hey, would you want to teach my course? I'm retiring. Why don't you teach?" And I go, "Oh yeah, sure. I actually like teaching." So teaching ended up keeping me with engineering, and I keep up with the state of art of the engineering. I keep moving. I have to be actually a little bit ahead of the state of the art, right? Because I'm teaching students. right? That are future engineers. So they need to be on the cutting edge. Okay, so in terms of what I do, so oh man, absolutely no regrets. Are you kidding? I'm like a kid in a candy store. I mean, companies send us robots. Companies send us problems that they can't solve, and then I solve them, right? Or I and my students solve them. So it is a very different. Yeah. So I mean, that's what happened with me. So I think bottom line, yeah, I know it's sort of weird. You might sit there and go, how can that be? No regrets. Trust me, there's no regret. You can't believe how much fun I have, and how much fun I have torturing my students. Whoa. In most places, when you torture someone else, that's illegal. You get thrown to jail. In a university, you get paid to torture your students. I've made my students cry. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not that I like it or not, but it's interesting seeing my students sweat. Okay, but on the other hand, some of the students that I have, they keep me on my toes. Right? They ask questions that are, whoa, that's pretty good. So no, I know all my friends sits there and yeah, they all say how lucky I am. Because I stayed with engineering. All my friends that we graduated together. There was 16 of us. There was 16 of us on the stage getting our PhD in the same area. Two of us did not, right? Did not go right away to industry. We started our own company, right? The rest of them, right? Yeah, pretty much ended up in industry, and yeah, they're not happy kids. That's all I have to say. Yeah, so I know it's an odd thing, but I do think, I mean, the advice I give to my students is, especially in engineering, if they're in engineering, and it could be in every field, but yeah, it's not for everybody. I know it's not for everybody, but everybody should try to start. They should try to be their own boss. They should try. They should see what that is like. Really, just try. It's okay. Don't worry about failing. What's the big deal? You fail, you start over. Okay, I hope that answered your question.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, bottom line is, yeah, no regrets. Whatever you do, don't think about regrets. Don't do that. Don't ever look. Forget regret. Forget the past. Always look at your future. But yeah, really, it's weird. I try to think there's no regrets. Maybe now, yeah, maybe I didn't color my hair. Or maybe I should have shaved it like Jinko, but no, there's no regrets whatsoever.
Fantastic. That's one word, honesty. Pat George, one word, honesty, straight up.
Yeah. And I also have no regrets not changing my citizenship. I'm still Indonesian, by the way.
I didn't know that.
56 years. 56 years. Actually, no, 59 years. 3 years I was in Singapore. 59 years I was away from Indonesia, but I still have my Indonesian passport.
Amazing.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Mr. George, for the
Yeah.
answer.
Sure.
Mr. George, because we don't have time, we have to close the session.
Sure.
We really appreciate you joining us today.
You bet.
As you are able to stay, you are welcome
Anytime.
to hang with us for the rest of the session. And if you need to jump to your next commitment, no worries at all.
Okay.
Thank you for the time.
But I'll stick
and
around. Let's see what you guys are up to.
All right. Thank you, Pat George.
You bet. Anytime.
I want to actually say this. Pat George and I met at I was invited to speak for a program doing international studies. So immediately we bonded over, I think, our mutual ability to tell it like it is, and in a very frank way. So Pat George and I got together, I think, for lunch, and it became an all-day lunch. We spent the entire afternoon talking about the Ministry of Indonesia, different presidents, Pat Luhut, and I think it's actually very refreshing. Pat George is Batak too, as well, so he knows how to give a like a hardcore truth there. So that's also incredible too as well. Thank you. Now that I reflect, when we invite inspirational speakers, everybody, to the room, it's really to kind of bring out the positive transformation that we're hoping to see in everybody's capability. Now, what Pat George said obviously is very truthful, I think, and I've been there as an entrepreneur myself. I have no regrets with anybody who chooses to take an entrepreneurial path from Buena Vista to their next thing, none. Because all we would have done is actually to fulfill our mission, is to inspire delight through the positive transformation of our partners, guests, and employees too as well. Okay, let's kind of head back a little bit and take a look. Here, let's go over to Furkan. Furkan, do we have Lutfi with the 2025 wrap up today?
It's put on the announcement.
Okay, all right. So let's get it to that wrap first, and then I'll come in afterwards to follow up afterwards. Okay.
All right, then over to Rama to manage it.
Okay, thank you, Mas Furkan. Reza, could you please share the announcement, yeah? And then please, as arranged before, helping me to read the highlights, yeah?
Okay. So okay, so this is the announcement from Kak Rama. So I will read it. So this is the Bukit Vista 2025 Backlog. This is in our website. Okay, so I will read it. So in the 2025 last year, our total number of property that we managed is 157. And then for the revenue growth, this is the 11.27%. And our total occupancy rate for the last year is 82%. And total number of check-in, there are 34,000 and 360 unique booking with check-in dates in 2025. And then for the Airbnb guest review score for check-in, this is 4.8, and then 4.68 for cleanliness, 4.6 for location, 4.72 for value, 4.78 for communication, 4.77 for accuracy. Okay, and then the next is total number of the 5-star reviews. We managed to get 13,062 5-star review with 4.72 average guest rating. Okay, so the next is our new onboarding property that we have been launched in 2025 is 63. Okay, so this is the tech highlight for the last year. The first one is the automated digital contract stamping. So this is basically automated the immaterial stamping for property contract, remove manual step, ensuring faster legally compliant processing. So the impact will be faster contract completing and higher operation efficiency. And then AI agent Budi for business development. So this is the AI power assistant that help the create proposal, manage tasks, and communicate with partner. Streamline the partner onboarding by handling routine business development workflow, and the impact is the faster BD cycle and more business opportunity generated. And then the enchanted Vivigo app interface and feature access. So redesign Vivigo with a cleaner role-based interface, easier navigation to user only see feature relevant to them, and the impact will be better user experience, smoother collaboration, and improve app usability. And this is our collaboration for 2025. This is the Secret Comedy Night, the Club Bali, our group, Bali Local, Monisren, Ninja Sushi Bar, and Monday Coworking. Okay, so that's all our Bukit Vista Web for 2025. Thank you. So I will hand it back to Kak Robin.
Okay, we can jump to the next session. Vision, mission, statement. Over to Hafiz.
Yes, it should be still Mr. Ching's session after the.
Yes, it comes back to me at this point. So
Yeah,
I'll speak up at this point. Okay, just as a follow-up from the discussion last week about mentorship. So, Pat George, I got a fun opportunity to mentor some students last week at the actual Berkeley Method of Entrepreneurship for Startup Founders. So,
nice.
as said last week, there would be a follow-up. So I just got a quick little video that I want to kind of like show you guys the little bit of a teaser, and then I'll go into talking about what that means in terms of our company here. So if I'll take the screen real quick and show you guys what we have, okay? I'll post the rest of the video on my personal YouTube account later, but this kind of gives a tease, okay? Still under development, but this is what it looks like. Okay.
It's inaudible.
There's no sound.
Oh, is it working, buddy?
No audio, only the video.
Oh, no audio. Okay. All right. Then I'm just going to have to do that another time. Okay. Thank you for about that bite. All right. What I'll do is this then. We'll skip that part. That's called a technical drop. And I'll talk about what we're planning to do starting from today. Okay. So it's been clear to all the senior leadership here at Bukit Vista that with this new year, we need to have a new approach towards what our expectations on employee transformation are. So if you take a look at the impact that Reza just presented earlier, one of the things that should surprise anybody looking at it is the impact of each and every one of you given the size of the business that we've done. Typically, a hotel with close to 200-300 people probably would have the same impact in Bali. We've been able to do it with far less. And also, we've seen less people here than at the beginning of the year. Now, the main drive and the reason behind that is our commitment to innovate in hospitality. Now, nobody said, as Pat George just mentioned earlier, that innovation is going to be easy. We've experienced a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but the whole point is that we do get back up each time. And what I've seen across the year is challenges, okay? It's been challenging for us to hit our revenue targets. It's been challenging for us to prevent churn. It's been challenging for us to also take a look and decide how to correctly guide and create a culture that is compatible for our guests, our partners, and our employees. But being confused and being lost is not a way forward. So starting from today, we are going to make some improvements and upgrades, starting with management commitment first, okay? So number one, there's going to be an announcement later on for some critical people who will be not with the company pretty soon, okay? And as a result, senior management has appreciated some of these announcements that have been told early so that we can prepare. And as a result of that, each of you now in this company are also receiving bonuses and raises for being AI ready. What that will mean that in the next day and two, we will come to each one of you with a new proposed base and salary that has been absorbed into the departure of some of our senior folks, which means that it is time to step up. It is time to put to use the skills and learnings that you've had to try to once again achieve an AI native way of going about it. Now, this has been one of my reasons for talking about mentorship, because it's come to my attention that I think everybody does need a mentor. It's come to my attention that having everyone try to do this by themselves has been proven to be just too challenging at this stage of the company alone. So one of my things as being, let's say, the leader of Book Vista is, at best, I would hope that, let's say, certain people would find their own way, come up with their own vision, and be able to do incredible things. We've seen that happen before historically, but perhaps to rely on that as a function is also lazy leadership. So what I'll commit to is this: for anybody who is stepping up, right, who is ready to accept new responsibilities, there will be increased both rewards on base, bonus, and we will work to develop people first before we work on greater goals. Okay, so that's basically a commitment to drive an AI native and an AI first way of thinking, an AI first way of leadership. Do we need to continue to hire and hire and hire to do things? Well, I think our experience in the past has shown that managing people, as Pat George just mentioned earlier, is not the strength nor the inclination for many of the people here who would prefer to build things, who would prefer to design things, prefer to spend time with users. So if we can avoid having too much complexity with having to manage too many people, improve our systems, allow for more independence and more power to each of you to use AI and stronger systems and tools, I think this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to be able to lead how hospitality is done in Indonesia and throughout the world. We are very much at the forefront of how we are using our new systems and processes in AI to manage our business. And as expected, for anybody who's watched Moneyball, for anybody who's been an entrepreneur, if you're the first one to do it, you're going to come upon all the problems, whether they are in science, engineering, design, or art and culture. And we certainly come upon quite a large number of them this way. But I remain confident. I remain confident because we've been through worse. We've been through COVID, we've been through market shutdowns where there is volcanoes, and we've been through all the things that normally would stop lesser companies. So my commitment this year is to really see positive transformation in all and each person that works here, okay? We are going to be reducing the LPT levels to start at knowledge management as a starting point. No longer should we think about how to execute things ourselves. No longer should we ask to self-supervise. We should be able to use knowledge and then technology to get our work done. And everyone's job here ultimately is to think about how to create synthetic jobs and also to create human jobs through their work, okay? All right, so at no better time, I think, can we actually embrace the spirit of thinking like an entrepreneur than at this moment. And hopefully that should be an inspiration for everybody to really step up and think about what they can do to positively transform themselves. I appreciate the people right now who have taken on extra responsibilities in light of the increasing duties. And I see our deeper commitment to be in the marketplace, be closer to our users. And so that makes me very happy to be coming back to Indonesia within the next 2 weeks, okay? So our work here to set up, I think, a strong professional network in California, be closer to where, let's say, emerging technologies and emerging leaders in the, let's say, mechanical engineering and also other industries, it has been tremendously valuable, I think, to the strength of our professional network and also the strength of our brand and also our ability to tap into the very best talent, advice, and mentorship that we need to receive. But I think it's time to go back home too as well and see from the ground what's actually happening. Okay, so that's my 2 bits. And the HR team with Rama and Furkan, along with myself and Bella, will be going around to announce what the new adjusted benefits are for the employees of this company as we move forward in this year. Okay, that's it. Let's get it back over to Rama. I'll let you direct to the next person to speak.
Oh, Okay, I'm gonna have to
Oh,
go to
Pat
a
George.
meeting to my students, so.
All right.
I'll
Thank you
see
for joining
guys.
us, Pat
Thanks
George.
for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Thank you for
Bye.
joining
Okay.
us, Mr. George.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so thank you for Mr. Jing for sharing the vision and inspiration. So I hope everyone can take this as the opportunity to grow and bring impact to our company. So I will share my screen first. Okay, the next will be hospitality and revenue target. I believe will be handled by Kak Hafiz. So Kak Hafiz, please take your time.
Okay, thank you, Reza. So good morning, everyone, and good evening for Mr. Ching. Yes, and this is our new on-board property. This is Villa Delwyn, DELYWN. Yes, this is included in our January 22 release train, which is already launched and received guests. So congratulations for the NAOM team for keeping this property ready and good for the guests. So let's have a good journey with this property and inspire delight our guests and partner as well. Okay, next. And this is the semester 8 target. Okay, thank you, Rama. I'll make it quick. Okay, the semester 8 target for the revenue target is 3.1 and 120,000, and hospitality target is 87%. 5-star rating, brand target 170,000 US$. Next. Hospitality target and achievement. This is the first metric. For the accuracy compared to the last week, we got a slightly decrease by 0.1%. Next. What are the property contributor for the non-5-star this week? So there are 14 non-5-star reviews we received this week. Next. And these are the MSM related to the accuracy. Next. For the check-in increased by 0.1% this week. Next. And these are the property contributor for the 5-star reviews this week. Next. Cleanliness increased as well by 0.1%. Next. What are the properties contributing to the 5-star review? There are 159 reviews we received this week. Next. And these are the MSM related to the cleanliness. Next. For communication, increased by 0.2% this week. Next. These are the properties that contributing to the 5-star review this week. Next. And this is the MSM that I believe related to the communications and Kaya. Next. And for the location, increased by 0.2% this week. Next. And these are the properties that contributing to the 5-star reviews this week. Next. For the value, got a decrease, slightly decrease as well by 0.1% compared to the last week. Next. So what are the properties that contributing to the non-5-star reviews we received this week? For the value, there are around 24 properties with 17 non-5-star reviews. Next. Sorry, more than 17, I mean. Yes, and this is the overall rating. Finally, we surpassed the target by 0.2%. So we hope we can keep this momentum and not going down again. So until our last month in the semester. Okay, next. And this is the overall highlights for this week. So this week counted from 19 January until 25 January. Next. And this is the breakdown of the reviews we received. So overall, actually, there is no listing unlisted this week, so we purely got the increase by 5-star reviews we received and some disputed reviews as well. Next. And these are the overall reviews 5-star that we received this week. There are around 170 5-star reviews. Next. And these are the MSM that related to the O2 or the hospitality for this month. Next. Next session will be presented by Furqan. Floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mas Hafiz. Good morning, everyone. So regarding the partner stability target, there is no update from the previous week, so we can skip into the revenue target achievement. Okay, so for the revenue target achievement, bit of good news that we have passed the 2 million USD mark of our revenue achievement this semester. However, we still have around 1 million USD to catch up with this 2 months left of the semester. So that's the report for the semester target. And let me directly go into the company team target achievements, understanding that the time is quite limited at this point. Okay, thank you very much, Reza, for moving into the company team target and achievement. So here is the January target so far. And as you can see, most of our targets are still off track. So let's come from the revenue target first. Now, we are currently at 90.8% of the target completion with MSM's contributions coming like from several people. We have Mas Gani, Kaila, Lutfi, and also Jason to actually contribute. And onto the next target, which is the hospitality or 5-star percentage. We are already exceed the target at by 101% by 0.83%. However, needs to note that hospitality rating is fluctuating. It's not always stable. So the call for the ops team to make sure that it is at least maintained. And there are so many MSM enforcement coming on the hospitality or operation side. It's a cumulative effort from Gray, Yosef, Bella, Masgani, Bayu, Hanza, me, Rama, Fasha, and Nadia, Hafiz, and and also Ega. So a lot of MSM, a lot of involvement from the team to support the hospitality metrics. Next slide. This is related to brand target or churn. Since there is no updates, there is no additional churn this week, but we see there is an additional MSM activity from David and also Titan and also me to prevent more churn happening in the future. And last one, related to the starting revenue target for February. For the progress, we're still at 72.71%. And there are several MSM activities, as you can see down below, contributed by Kaila, Hanza, Reza. Yes, those three. So those are the target accomplishment updates for January, and also the person that is contributing on the MSM to contributes on hitting the target. So what are our opportunities for January so far? I would like to apologize that I haven't updated the numbering yet. So let me directly changing it directly. So in January, we managed to have 70% occupancy with 9% expired dates, 3% maintenance, and also 1% owner usage so far. So this is our metrics and also our performance for January. Thank you very much. Reza, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Kak Furkon and Kak Hafiz to bring the update about the company. So we will move on to the next session, which is weekly mission inspiration. So I think, okay, so this is the first from Kak Lutfi, from Bukit Vista Vision Mission to inspire the lab through the hospitality innovation that positively transform our partner. And let us know about the impact in our revenue and overall target. Kak Lutfi, time is yours.
This research sharpens our understanding of partner churn signals. So we set out to identify what behaviors indicate churn risk versus behaviors that simply reflect normal strain or stresses during early stages of partnership. Based on the findings, in early stage partnerships, we see many strain signals such as confusion, repeated clarification, timeline anxiety, etc. But these are not high confidence indicators of churn. They appear in both churn and retained partners. In contrast, higher confidence churn signals emerge much later in the partnership cycle. These include explicit rejection of the pricing model, price floor demands, and a better empty than keep mindset. By identifying these early strain indicators and late stage churn indicators, we can stay ahead of the signals, we can stay ahead of the partner sentiment and act earlier with the right interventions before partners decides to reach a point of no return. So this research strengthens us to avoid and act before churn happens and supports our churn target. That is all from me.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Kak Lutfi. And before we move to the next one, I will inform you that we will extend our all hands today around 15 minutes. So thank you. So let's move on to the next. This is also from our technological information. First one from Kak Vidi. And don't forget to let us know about the impact in our revenue or overall target. Kak Vidi, time is yours.
Okay, similar to Lutfi, actually this one can, so that we can be quick, you can just open the attachment. I've provided together with Bella two possible notifications and also signals that we can use from the finance side. For example, in expenses and also in profit gain by partners compared to profit by Bukit Vista. These are not our main brand narrative, which should be the contract value, but this is their reality. Partners are talking about this, and it's important for us to know first before partner escalates to us. So whatever we do with this in signals is up to our game design and narration. But yeah, these are two things that are available.
Oh, thanks, Kak Vidi. And the next is from Kak Wendy. Time is yours, Kak.
Okay, Reza, thank you. I'll share my screen.
Oh, okay, sure.
Thank you. Here I present Digger. Is it visible now? Okay. So I'll explain about the new adjustment in our property onboarding stepper here. I'm using property, attaching property here. So the adjustment is basically we're saying that the property onboarding stepper is now semi-dynamic. It means that the user can request to us, engineering, to rearrange the stepper or to replace or add a new stepper in here. So basically, seems like no different from the previous one, but actually we remove some stepper here. So previously there's 6 steps to complete a property onboarding, but now it's only 4 steps. It's already communicated with the I believe operational team or marketing team. And then here are the new one. So there's only 4 steps, and then in here previously there's a lot of steps here, but now it's only the payment detail, and next is only until the visa set launch that. By the way, I will show you guys how we can adjust or rearrange the steppers in here. For example, I will change it in the database from the second step to be the first step. I'll change the position real quick here, and then you guys have, okay, I'll refresh it, and then you'll see that the property details will be on the second step, and then the previous one will be on the first step. So I changed it on the database. So if you guys want to request to rearrange the stepper, you can ask the engineering to do it, to execute it, and then we will help you to rearrange the stepper. Or if you want to remove any stepper here, you can also request to us by asking us through Slack or offsite support maybe. And yeah, we'll do it for you guys. And if you have any request to add another new stepper, and you can also request it, and it will be created for you. I think that's all from us. Oh, by the way, I'll explain about how it impacted the PAUM. So this actually impacted the PAUM, but by speed up the transition from a new lead to an active property, so allowing us to convert potential assets into active revenue generating AUM much faster by like now, like removing unnecessary stepper from the previous one. I think that's all from me. Thank you. Back to Reza.
Okay, thank you, Kak Wendy. So I will share my screen again. Okay, the next one is also from Kak Lutfi. Time is yours, Kak.
We made a new tool to bring clarity to property evaluation. So the business development team needs a fast way to roughly understand the value of a property before deciding if it's even worth pursuing. Previously, pursuing and making business plans for low-value properties is not optimal, since making business plans takes time and effort. With this tool, business development can quickly estimate if a property is worth pursuing before requesting a business plan. It will also help business plan appraisers, such as me, avoid a promise over-promising since this tool uses a new market-proven signal based on sold prices in Airbnb. This tool is built on a transparent and explainable methodology, and it allows human review on where those figures comes from. With a more accurate business plan contract value calculation, we can lower the chances of overpromise, reducing missed expectations, and making sure AUM growth is driven by higher quality properties. More high quality AUM means more high quality inventory, which means more revenue that we can gain from selling those inventory. That is all.
Thank you, Kak Lutfi, for bringing this update. This will actually help the NOM team, especially me, before submitting business plan. So thank you. And next from Kak Lutfi again.
Okay.
So time is yours, Kak.
The next one. In order to make pricing knowledge explicit and more clear, we translated our pricing logic into pseudocode and documented it inside Notebook LM. So instead of relying on scattered explanations, hard to read technical code, and individual memory, we have a living knowledge base that reflects how the pricing works. This notebook can answer questions about the pricing logic, which allows us to have a clear pricing knowledge, which improves decision quality, shortens feedback loops, and allows us to move faster in iterating and improving our pricing methods. Better pricing calculations, meaning more effective nights that are sold and then getting more revenue. That is all.
Okay, thank you, Kak Lutfi. Okay, I think that's all for the weekly mission inspiration. We still have some time. We move to the core value recognition. The first one is from Kak Furkon. Time is yours, Kak Furkon.
Okay, actually I have two, but the first one is to Rama for helping others to help themselves. So I would like to thank Rama for providing not only engaging but also insightful question of the week that is actually very beneficial for me and also the other upper management team to understand about our employees as well member situation. So thank you very much, Rama, for doing for keep consistently doing it. I hope that you can also bringing back the cute graphic on your question of the week, like you used to like several months ago. Okay. Thank you. That's to Rama. And the second one is to Fasha. Yesterday I was having quite extensive discussion with Mr. Jing after the morning MSM, after morning MSM discussion, and I haven't delegated the morning sync up to anyone else, and Fasha stepped up to take the lead. So I would like to recognize that. Thank you very much for rising to the challenge and also stepping up to lead the meeting, even though without any delegation. Without any delegation that you step up, it is actually I really appreciate it. So good sign. Keep doing that. Back to you, Reza.
Okay, thank you, Kak Furkon. So the next is from Kak Bayu. Time is yours, Kak Bayu.
Okay. First to Jason, for never settle. I noticed Jason possess this core value naturally. Last week we see Jason comes up with idea to solve editing photos using AI, and he also actually approached me to refer his friend that is interested in tech to apply in Bukit Vista without actually anyone asking him to do that. So that is a very good, and I'd like to appreciate. The next one is for Fasha, Ganesh, Rama, and Gani. So this also congratulations. This is a rise to the challenge. So basically, after working on long latency project, we are fixing inspection, onboarding, housekeeping, almost 2 or 3 months ago. And now finally we have achieved the hospitality target. Ganesh has been stepping up to onboarding manager. Rama is helping with supervising and managing housekeepers compensation and incentive. And Fasha also step up to implement SOP and doing the field supervision as well. And Gani also helping to manage the new AUM scheduling and release train in order to support the onboarding. So this is also a reminder that sometimes the project that we are doing only shows the result after doing it consistently for a while, not always instant result. So that's it for me.
Okay, thank you, Kak Bayu. And then the next one is from, I believe this is from Mr. Jing. Time is yours, sir.
Okay. How should I put this? We actually have a strategic advantage here, everyone, from any other company that tries to do this type of business, which is we have a lot of data, and it's actually a really good practice to kind of use the tools of what we have in AI to search through that. So all it takes is curiosity. And thank you, Lipley, for ever being curious to keep on going through that data and telling us about what we're not seeing in our own mirrors. So whether it's, I think Pat George talked about this too. A lot of research doesn't actually account for much, right? But enjoy the process, enjoy that thing, and keep on digging up, because eventually we'll find insights that are going to be great. We do need a science culture, so thank you for leading that. That's cool. Don't assume, use evidence, use data. All right, my next core value is to actually value. Value has stepped up to the challenge, and just as kind of a fun thing too as well, this is in two ways. So first is to go over to a different section of the company when there was an emergency to quickly manage and add strategic guidance. I think that's good. The second is actually also to improve his own capabilities in upper management to also, of course, make sure that the people who are working on the team are recognized. I think this is good. It is correct. Oftentimes strategy doesn't show itself until you kind of implement it for a few weeks or even a few months. But when it happens, let's go back and remember how these things began. So that's cool. All right, that's my two.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Zing. And then that is all for core value recognition. And the next one is announcement, but we already announced about that, about the Bukit Start in 25 high click. And we will do about the personal update asynchronously. So I think that's all for our all-hand session. I will hand it back to Karowin.
Okay, thank you for joining all hand today. That's it. Have a good day.
All right, thank you, Robin.
And
Thank
don't
you.
forget to fill out the personal update, guys. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.